Hello, my Bulldog friends. It's Miss Hebner again here to read your Thursday night read aloud. Mrs. Joyce gives the best high fives, introducing the school counselor. Written by Ariana Winnett, and the pictures are by Somnath Chatterjee. And we've been given special permission by Ariana Winnett to read this book to you all. It was finally the first day of school, and Anita couldn't wait. All her friends would be there, and she had a new teacher to meet. The front doors of Emerson Elementary opened, revealing her favorite person at the school, the counselor. Mrs. Joyce smiled and high-fived Anita. Mrs. Joyce gave the best high fives. "Good morning, Anita. It's wonderful to see you. How was your summer?" Excitedly, Anita replied, "Good morning, Mrs. Joyce. My summer was totally amazing. I spent most of it at my grandpa's farm. He taught me to ride horses and catch fish, and we went swimming almost every day." Just then, a group of boys came running up to high-five Miss Joyce, too. "Welcome back, Brad and Charles. Your backpacks are almost as big as you are," she teased. "And who's this?" "This is Raymond. He's my new neighbor," Brad explained. "Hello, Raymond. My name is Mrs. Joyce, and I'm the school counselor. It's nice to meet you." "Hi, it's nice to meet you, too," he replied shyly. As the boys walked into the building, Raymond asked, "What exactly does a school counselor do?" Brad began, "Well, school counselors help you with a lot of things. I visited her last year when my parents separated. It was really hard on me, but Mrs. Joyce talked with me and helped me better understand why some people get divorced." "Did your parents find out what you talked about?" "No, Miss Joyce didn't tell anyone. She's a school counselor, so she doesn't tell anyone what you talk about. It's called confidentiality. Unless you're being hurt or you're trying to hurt someone else. Then she tells someone. But that someone is someone that can help you too." "Mrs. Joyce helped me too," Charles added. "I used to get so anxious before tests that I couldn't think straight. Mrs. Joyce taught me ways to relax and get prepared for tests, and now they're way easier." Later that week, Miss Bright, Raymond's teacher, handed him a counseling pass. "Mrs. Joyce would like to visit with you and see how you're doing." Raymond felt nervous as he walked to the counselor's office, but he looked around at the room at the colorful posters and drawings, and he began to relax. "Raymond, it's so great to see you again. How's your first week going?" "I like it so far. My teacher is really nice, and Brad's in my class." "Wonderful!" exclaimed Mrs. Joyce. "I'm glad to hear you are both together." Looking around, Raymond noticed a sign. "That sounds like something I've heard before," he declared, pointing to a poster. "What is said here stays here." "What does it mean?" "It means I won't tell anyone what you and I talk about. It's private, and it's called confidentiality." "Oh, I remember Brad saying something about that earlier. He and Charles told me some of the ways you've helped them." "Yes, I'm here to help all students. Sometimes we talk about feelings and making good choices or setting goals. I help each student become their own problem solver." "My own problem solver? You bet. Once you learn how to solve your problems, you are closer to being the best you that you can be." Raymond thought for a moment. "If I have a problem and want to talk with you, how do I let you know?" "Easy. You fill out an I need to see the counselor form, or you can tell your teacher and she will let me know. You can also tell your parents or guardians, and they can give me a call." "Would you ever visit with my parents?" "Sure. I work with parents and teachers. We are partners in your education, and we want you to be successful at school and at home." Raymond nodded. "Sometimes it's hard for me to make friends. Is that something that you help students with?" "Absolutely. In fact, I have a friendship group that starts next week. We'll talk about what friendship is and discover ways to make and keep friends. Is that something that you might be interested in?" Raymond shrugged. "Will the other kids make fun of me and tell everyone that I don't have any friends?" "Oh no. Whatever anyone talks about stays in here, even if it's group." "Remember the poster? So you aren't allowed to talk about this outside of the room?" "That's right. What we learned about each other is meant to help, not hurt," Miss Joyce assured him. "Cool. I'd like to learn how to make friends," Raymond smiled. "Yeah, I want to be part of the friendship group." "That's great. I'll send a letter home to your parents explaining about the group and get their permission." Raymond had one more question. "The other day, when our class was coming in from recess, I saw you go into Charles's classroom. Why were you there?" "I go into classrooms several times a year. I usually read a story or do an activity with the class. We always have a great time during my classroom visits." Raymond thought about everything Miss Joyce had said. He really liked talking to the school counselor. Thank you, Mrs. Joyce, for telling me about your job and inviting me to join the friendship group. I'm so glad you're at our school, Raymond. There are a lot of grown-ups who are here to help you, and I'm just one of them. As Raymond left her office, Miss Joyce gave him a high five. See you next week, she said. Raymond grinned and walked back to class, already feeling like making new friends might not be as hard as he thought it would, and even if it was, he knew just who could help. The end.